Urgent update, EIDL ends. There is more small business stimulus funds to be claimed. If you're a small business owner and you believe that all of the stimulus funding has been exhausted and there is no more available for your small business, I'm here to tell you that it's simply not true. Yes, EIDL has ended, and yes, PPP has also ended, but I just posted a video last week and already small business owners are qualifying 7 days later that are qualifying for stimulus funds in the amounts of $20,000, $40,000, $150,000, all the way up to $220,000. And the number can go higher. It could go as high as $13 million if that is what you qualify for. I will tell you that right now the average small business owner is qualifying for $220,000. These are not loans and they do not need to be paid back with any interest or granted any type of forgiveness. If you're a small business owner and you're struggling right now, make sure you stick around through this video to see if you qualify for additional stimulus funding that you did not even know was available, because I want to make sure that you receive everything that your small business needs. I'm here to talk to you about a government-funded stimulus that came with the CARES Act that no one else is talking about. It's one of the greatest failed public service announcements out there because of the confusion within the several thousand-page act that was signed into law. In fact, if you were to ask your accountant today if you qualified for this program, 9 out of 10 of them would tell you that you simply do not qualify, or they do not have the bandwidth to help you with this service. In fact, I found a service that has discovered over $1 billion of unclaimed funds that are available right now with no questions asked to be injected into this economy as it was intended to, that most accountants are skipping right over. I sure hope I have your attention. If you like this kind of content, remember to become a subscriber and hit the like button. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any upcoming videos. This is the channel that provides you an all-access pass to everything cash flow, capital, and credit by ensuring you have the right financial literacies for business success. Stop saying you're in a side hustle and start saying I am open for business. Let's dive in. In last week's video, I did a deep dive on the employee retention credit and where and how you access these funds. I even offered a recommendation of a specialist who will help you get this process done for you and do all of the heavy lifting. Now, if you're already with me on this and you want to express lane to that specialist, you could check them out right now in the description. Now, before you say you don't qualify because of something that your accountant might have told you, stay through to the end of the video because you may learn something new in this video. I don't want you missing out on any stimulus funding for your small business by simply clicking to a video that might be over here. Now, I have trusted this company to work with my business, my clients, my students, and even the small businesses that are inside of my own personal network because this company has developed an algorithm that helps you maximize the results. They have the ability to get you the max amount of funds that your small business truly needs right now. And today we're going to do a deeper dive on some of the feedback that came from last week's video to clear up some of the confusion about why you are hearing that you may not necessarily qualify for the employee retention credit. This is, again, the least talked about stimulus that's out there, and I don't want you to miss out on anything by having wrong information. Our economy will benefit by having these funds injected into it as it was intended. Take it from me, everybody. I'm Edward Bilder, millionaire, real estate investor, entrepreneur, coach, educator, engineer, father of 4, and I've spent the past 2 years teaching members of my channel how to access funds like EIDL and PPP. I made it my mission to help everybody in PPP and EIDL that I actually produced over 300 videos on the subject, discovering all sorts of SBA glitches and helping you gain access to those funds. And now I feel it's my duty that I continue to help and serve small businesses by helping you access the employee retention credits that your small business truly needs. In this video, we'll briefly explain where the employee retention credit came from. We're going to talk about why most CPAs believe that you do not qualify. We're going to talk about how to qualify with more emphasis on the supply chain shortages. And last, I'll show you a no-hassle method on how to access these funds. Starting with what exactly is the employee retention credit and where did it come from? This is a program that essentially was designed to pay a business a thank you, in air quotes thank you, for keeping employees on payroll from January 1st of 2020 all the way up until September 30th of 2021. And where exactly did the employee retention credit come from? It actually came to us in the CARES Act that was signed into law on March 27th of 2020. It came with the Paycheck Protection Program, EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, the deferral of Social Security taxes, and we got the Employee Retention Credit. Now, there was a little caveat to this because originally the Employee Retention Credit, if you received the Paycheck Protection Program, you did not qualify for the Employee Retention Credit. So most payroll and most accountants kind of discounted it because the Paycheck Protection Program was much larger to go after. It was kind of set off to the side on priority. PPP was first. EIDL was also up there in high priority. And the Employee Retention Program was just not a high priority. But there were many changes that came within the Employee Retention Credit Program that the Consolidated Appropriations Act that was signed into law December 27th of 2020 made it so that you could now receive retroactive Employee Retention Credit, and you could also claim it if you also claimed the Paycheck Protection Program. And it also extended the program into 2021 by opening up eligibility for quarters 1 and quarters 2 with the new limits, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So let's address something right off the bat. Most accountants still believe that you may not qualify for the Employee Retention Credit if you receive the Paycheck Protection Program PPP funding, and this is simply not true. Now, it's not necessarily your CPA's fault or your payroll specialist's fault because they don't necessarily specialize in these types of credits, and you really have to pay attention to the thousands and thousands of pages that come out within these acts that get signed into law that you could simply miss some key details of these changes. But I'm here to tell you that if you did receive Paycheck Protection Program, you can still qualify for the Employee Retention Credits. You simply deduct the weeks that were covered by PPP. So let's recap for a moment. When the program was first designed, it was designed to give $5,000 per employee for the entire year of 2020. That was not a major priority when you could receive up to $20,000 per employee through PPP and even greater funds inside the EIDL program if you went out and accepted a loan. So the prioritization of the Employee Retention Credit was pushed down in priority. Now let's fast forward into March 11th of 2021. The American Rescue Plan then extended the program from 6/30/2021 all the way out to December 31st of 2021, adding 2 additional quarters to be qualified. Now, Q4 was then later removed inside the infrastructure bill. So right now, inside of 2021, you can qualify for Q1, Q2, and Q3, and no longer qualify for Q number 4. Okay, so now that we're all caught up on how and where it came from and the evolution of it over time, let's talk about how big the potential is for the Employee Retention Credit, because it can go up to as high as $13 million if you have 500 employees. Now, if you don't necessarily have 500 employees, don't worry, because the average credit right now for small businesses is approximately $200,000 across the board. So let me break it down for you. You can qualify for up to $26,000 through the years of 2020 and 2021. That's $5,000 per employee for the entire year of 2020, and then $21,000 for the year 2021. That's a max claim of $7,000 per employee per quarters, Q1, Q2, and Q3 for the year of 2021. Now, if you'd like a deeper explanation of this, check out this video right here that I posted last week, and I'll go into much deeper detail on the overall calculation of how we figured out the $26,000 per employee. It does require that you have a minimum of 1 W-2 employee up to 500 W-2 employees, and there are various ways to qualify that you have been negatively impacted by the pandemic, which I go into further detail also in that video. This money comes to you directed right into your checking account if you so choose, with no further questions asked, and you don't have to pay this back because it is a credit. Wow, I'm revealing all of my biggest secrets in this video. Remember to hit the like button, become a subscriber, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss any future updates on the employee retention credits. And if you'd like me to go into more detail on anything that I'm talking about in the video, remember to leave a comment below. The best and fastest way to grow wealth quickly is to take others along with you. So share this with all of your friends and all of your family. And right now, especially share this with all of your fellow small businesses out there, because most small businesses have jumped off of these channels because they are no longer tracking the EIDL progress if they have been funded already, and they could be missing out on this massive potential for additional stimulus funds. So share this with all of your fellow small business owners that you know out there. Bump them and give them a reminder to check out Ask Bilder to get all the details. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this is financial advice. Let's get back to the video. Now, there's one thing I want to go into more detail on, and that is the supply chain shortages, how to qualify through supply chain shortages, because there are two types of supply chain shortages right now. One is due to some type of government order. It could be at federal, state, or local. And the other is due to a labor shortage. Labor shortages do not qualify for the employee retention credit if you have a shortage of your supply chain that's related to a labor shortage. But if you have a shortage of supply chain that was related to anything that was a government order that was for reduced hours or a shutdown, you may qualify for that supply chain shortage. The IRS uses the word nominal, meaning 10%. If you experience a shortage due to a government shutdown that affects a nominal amount, you may qualify for the employee retention credits. If you meet the revenue requirements, that will be an easy win for you. Remember, check out that video that I posted here the other day, just last week, because it goes into more detail on the revenue requirements. But if you are still in doubt about the supply chain shortages, simply go through the questionnaire that's provided as a link in the description. It will help you arrive at an answer the questions as accurately as possible. And guess what? A specialist from their team will call you to talk to you all about the process and ask you if you have any further questions. Which is what I love about their service. An actual human being will call you on the phone. Remember how difficult it was to get somebody from the SBA on the phone? So if you check out the link in the description, it is free to apply. You get to use their calculator, which is absolutely free, and it will determine if you qualify and what your eligibilities are. And then they will call you to answer any further questions you have. So once you decide to submit your documents, they will tell you exactly how much you qualify for after they've reviewed every bit of information that you've provided to them. Now, if you decide to go with their service, they will charge you a fee as a percentage of the return. This can be deducted from the actual return. You don't necessarily have to pay this in advance. You sign the documents and away you go. They handle all of the heavy lifting. Now, there is some urgency behind this because it takes approximately 16 weeks just to get through the process at the IRS, and it takes the specialist about a week's time to get all of your documents in order. So you don't want to wait here until you're about ready to shut your doors. You want this funding as quickly as possible, so get yourself in line because the program is gaining more popularity and you don't want to be at the back of that line. I want to thank you all for joining me for another video today. If you're starting an Airbnb business for the first time, or you need any form of small business coaching and you need my help, check me out in the description at the askbuilderchannel.com link provided in the description. You could join my email list. I'm always sending out free templates for Airbnb, free business templates, you name it. I'm here to help you. I just launched a new master short-term rental accelerator course, and the only way to find out about all those details is to be on my email list. It comes with weekly coaching to ensure that you stay focused on your investment and that you accelerate the process to reaching the $1 million annual milestone fairly quickly. To learn more about this, join my email list. If you'd like to set up one-on-one coaching with me, you could also find me through the description. I hope you get out and take these actions today and get in line for the employee retention credit right now. I'm going to catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.